Doctors for Cannabis Regulation is a nationwide organization of physicians with doctors in 16 states representing just under half of the US population. We are an organization, the first and only dedicated to the advocacy for legalization, taxation, and smart government regulation of marijuana in the United States. When I first started talking about my perspective as a physician advocating for the changes in the US law and was asked to be in the state organization for New Jersey for marijuana reform, I quickly realized that there was no organized structure for physicians who wanted to identify themselves as advocating for this position. It then led me to look around for what was the national organization representing physicians. There was none. And so I started talking to a lot of different doctors, including two that are right here. We got a great board, an honorary board of prominent physicians, including Jocelyn Elders, a former Surgeon General, Andrew Weil, physician and the founder of Integrated Health, Pioneer.
First of all, I really wish that I had learned about it in medical school. I feel like I was woefully underprepared to go out in the world where people are using a drug and I didn't know very much about it. I would like doctors to understand that there are cannabinoid receptors all through the body, head to toe, not just the brain. It's in muscle and bone and bladder, and that there are potent anti-inflammatory effects of cannabis and cannabinoids. Cannabis has the potential to kill cancer cells while leaving normal cells intact. It's a great muscle relaxer, so it can be very useful for multiple sclerosis. It can help to balance out the metabolism, so it actually can be used to potentially prevent or treat diabetes. It's not just about nausea and pain control. And I think the more doctors learn, the more they're going to understand that not only is this a tremendous medicinal plant, but that our drug policy is really not in line with the science and somewhat hypocritical.
And even the degree to which doctors may or may not believe in the medical use of marijuana, despite the ample evidence, even if you believe that there is nothing useful in the plant, it doesn't rise to the level of a health issue that should ever have been prohibited by the government. And so you don't have to be pro-marijuana to oppose its prohibition. And that's the message that Doctors for Cannabis Regulation is trying to spread.
The most important thing we'd like to see physicians embrace their own AMA code of ethics. The American Medical Association developed this code. The language says that, basically we're required to abide by the laws, and we need to seek to change laws that are not in the best interest of our patients. And we would argue that the current drug policy laws, the laws that block marijuana research are very detrimental to patients, to society in general, and we're urging physicians to acknowledge the issues around social justice, the racial disparities that are ruining the fabric of our society, and we're working to change that by urging an end to prohibition.
The laws right now in the different states are so different from one another, and even among the states that have legalized medicinal marijuana, there are huge discrepancies in the degree of restrictiveness of those laws. So I come from New Jersey, where the laws are tightly defined for what indications are appropriate or are allowed for the legal recommendation of marijuana. And so that leaves a lot of patients out in the cold and doesn't permit them to get the drug legally, even if there's clear indications, for example, severe chronic pain in the absence of one of several qualifying conditions. Somebody in the state of New Jersey cannot get it legally. And that's also part of our motivation for, again, wanting legalization, is that while medical marijuana laws can help patients get what they need, it's really beside the point to try to sort out who does and who doesn't deserve it. When you're talking about consenting adults, they should be allowed to make their own decisions about their personal use of cannabis.
I'm not a doctor, I'm an attorney, so I'm surrounded by doctors nonstop, and the most interesting thing I've learned, amongst many things the past few months, is that the majority of doctors in this country actually favor some kind of legalization, but they're afraid to talk about it. And so that was another genesis behind this organization. We are a voice for all those physicians around the country who want to come out with their pro-legalization views. That's why we're created, that's why we exist, and if you're one of those physicians, come and talk to us.
We have doctors from around the country who are professors at major medical universities. They're chairs of departments. They're chiefs of their sections, they're fellows in their various physician associations. And with that kind of lineup, we're going to make it safe for doctors to come out with their pro-legalization views.
Manna falling from heaven. Gold is in the streets, right? And we didn't have to spend a penny to get it here. We got a lot of good do-gooders like Nadelman and Campy and Boyd and a few others bringing all the money in and creating these wonderful profit opportunities for us. God, that's nice of them. Who are they again? But we're gonna make some money.